Hey everyone, welcome to Adventures in Everyday Cooking, where every day can be an adventure in your kitchen. My name is Heather, and the whole reason this channel exists is because I love to cook and I love to save time doing so, but yet not sacrifice flavor and texture and all those things that I love about food because I love food. But my ultimate goal is to, number one, find time-saving hacks for myself and for others, and to make budget-friendly things become a reality for us home cooks, because we don't have unlimited budgets to go and do all the things. Now, I said all that because today's video, I'm sure you already know because it's in the thumbnail, but I am going to attempt to make pre-flavored packaged rice that goes in my freezer that I can bring out and either sous vide to cook or pop in the microwave after it's defrosted for a little while, because I am guilty of spending way too much money on these guys. Yeah, these packaged rice things. I love having them in my pantry because then I can just do a protein and then throw a vegetable together like a salad or something, and then boom, there's the starch and it's all ready to go. However, at over $2 a package, I'm thinking it's time for me to invent something that I can make at home and that will be just as tasty. All right, let's get to this. What you're gonna need to make this rice is a food saver machine or some sort of vacuum sealer, 4 cups of broth, 4 cups of long grain white rice, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of poultry seasoning, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of white pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 1/2 teaspoons of parsley, and half a teaspoon of celery seed. And I am gonna use my Instant Pot to make my rice. However, you make your rice however you see fit. However, I can only say how it's gonna turn out in the Instant Pot because this is that time-saving thing that I was talking about, because I don't have to babysit it. I know it's gonna be done. I do it in there all of the time. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to add my broth to the Instant Pot. All right, now into the pot goes all of the seasonings, right? Next, I'm gonna throw in 4 cups of the long grain rice. Now, you do need to get that rice up off the bottom of the pot, because if you don't, you will get a burn notice on your Instant Pot. Okay, next we're gonna get our pot sealed, and we are going to start it on pressure cook, so we're not gonna use the rice setting, down to 6 minutes on normal pressure, and the keep warm function is turned off, and that's it. As soon as it is done, we're gonna let it sit there for about another 4 to 5 minutes, and then we're gonna release the pressure, and then I will be right back to show you what's next. Okay, that's down at the pressure. Let's work on our bags. So I assume I got some ready already, but I assume I'm gonna need about a 10-inch bag for 2 cups of rice. Looks fantastic in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spatula here, but I'm going to give it a little mix, kind of like to break up those clumps that may have formed during cooking, but it looks great. And before we take this pot out and start to, portion it out, let's go ahead and taste for seasoning. Actually, it's pretty good. I feel like it could use a little bit more salt, but I'll let the person who cooks it in the microwave later decide that. Okay, so now I have my 2-cup measured bags, and I am going to use my cup measuring cup, and I am just going to dip out 2 cups of rice for each of these bags. If I did all of my measurements right, this should be about 8 cups of rice because I started with 4 cups of dried rice. And I'm going to don't pack it down, just leave it like that so it can cool for just a little bit. All right, and once your bags are all portioned out, which that made a little bit over 8 cups, and I was being a little bit generous on the cup mark, we are gonna get these sealed up. Now, it's important for us as vacuum sealers to go ahead and do it warm because we're gonna want to keep the air out of it for as long as possible, because air does cause spoilage with rice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my rice bag right into the channel there, and I'm gonna seal it. And I am gonna push, I'm not gonna let it all the way suck all of that air out because I don't want the rice to squish together and become one solid piece. So there we have our first bag of rice. All right, and now what I will do is I will get these into the freezer. I'll put one in the refrigerator just so that I can see how it comes out after the refrigerator, and we'll put the rest in the freezer, and then I will be back when I'm ready to cook these up. Okay, you guys, welcome back. It has been actually a couple weeks since I did that first half of the video, and I'm happy to report that actually what you're going to see now is my third batch of rice. Yes, the third, because I actually ate it over the last 2 weeks. And the reason is because things got a little busy and I was like, oh my goodness, I need a starch for the meal. Oh yeah, I have that rice in there. And I experimented with how to do it in the microwave and the sous vide and everything. And it was amazing. So I'm so excited to share with you the finale of this video. Let's get to it. So first of all, let's deal with the previously frozen and now defrosted rice, or the rice that was just in your refrigerator after you made it the night before, after we vacuum sealed it. I'm also happy to report that it only takes 90 seconds, just like those packages do. So what I'm gonna do here is I am going to snip the side just a little bit, just like the packages say to do, and we're gonna break it up just as the packages say to do, and we are gonna get it right into the microwave at high power for 90 seconds. So while that microwave is doing its thing, I will talk about the frozen one. Now, the first day that I made the frozen one, I actually stuck it in my sous vide water, and my sous vide water was about 130 degrees. So I put it down inside of there, and when my steaks were done, my rice was warmed to 130, which was the best temperature for the rice for that meal. Since the rice is already cooked, it was so easy, so simple. I put it in frozen, you guys, and it was done when my meal was done. The microwave's ready. Let's get that out and show you. All right, let's just squish it all together. Woo, the bag is going to be very hot. And remember, this was about 2 cups of rice, but check it out. Check out, whoops, I forgot to break up that little bit of rice. So make sure you break up your little bits there, but check out this beautiful rice. That alone is worth my time once a week making my whole batch of rice and portioning it out. And it only took, I mean, after it was out of the pressure cooker, it only took me about 5 minutes to measure out the cooled rice into the bags and get them in the freezer. That's pretty phenomenal. And I'll use the white plate for our frozen rice. So, besides sous videing this frozen rice, what else can you do? Well, I am so glad that you asked, because I figured that out as well. So this time we're going to make a little sliver in it, and we're going to cook it for 90 seconds on high in the microwave again, and then we're gonna break it up with our hands, okay? All right, so after 90 seconds from frozen, we are just going to break up the rice a little bit. Don't do it too much because you don't wanna break the individual grains, but just break it up and move it around a little bit, and then we're gonna get it back in for another 90 seconds, and it should be almost all the way done at that point. The other thing I thought I'd mention is, yes, this is my own recipe for herbed rice, but you can use any herbed rice you want, any rice recipe in your pressure cooker or even on the stovetop that you want to put together and put it in the freezer. That will work just fine. I do suggest for those creamy rices to hold back the cream, like make your rice as you would and don't add the cream. Put it in your freezer, get it frozen, and then after you warm it up, then add your creamy mixture, and then you will have a better creamy mixture, because sometimes when creamy mixtures go into the freezer, they kind of tend to separate a little, and I haven't tried it, but I'm not willing to try it because I know what creams look like coming out of the freezer. So that would be my suggestion. If you like creamy rice, just do your rice, add your cream as it's going to the table. Maybe we'll do that right now with this rice and show you how it's done. All right. So now it's been another 90 seconds and I'm feeling inside the bag and I still feel a couple little cold spots. So I don't think it's gonna take another 90 seconds though, because some of this rice is already super hot. Okay, so I feel like touching this, I don't feel like there's any cold spots at all anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it in for maybe another 30 seconds and then we'll pour it on the plate and I'll show you what it looks like. And in 30 seconds, I've brought out my burner and our rice is ready to go. So I'm gonna cut it just as I did the other one and show you the difference. Okay, so this one on the blue plate is the one from Defrosted. And as you can see, all of the individual grains are still very much intact. There's a few broken grains, but nothing that anyone would write home about. However, you come over here to the one that came straight from the freezer and into the microwave, and you will see there are quite a number of broken grains, which make it almost look like a short grain rice. Is that a bad thing? Well, it just depends on how you like your texture of rice. So then if you are a rice connoisseur and really need your grains to be whole, definitely defrost your rice first before you get it into the microwave. So let's go ahead and set these aside and I'm gonna make up some cream of mushroom soup. And I did not plan to make cream of mushroom, it just came to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this on to medium. I'm gonna stick in half of a stick of butter and then I'm gonna roughly chop my mushrooms. And once that butter starts to melt, let's go ahead and get our mushrooms right in. And we're just gonna saute those in butter until they are nice and soft. All right, next we're gonna take our cream of anything mix and measure out 1/3 cup. Then we are gonna heat our water to boiling, all the while watching carefully our beautiful mushrooms so they don't burn. And then we are going to add our mixture right in and whisk it up well before it goes in the pan because we don't want any clumps of that cornstarch. Okay, and there we have our cream of anything, and now it's gonna thicken up in this pan as we cook with the mushrooms. See how it thickens up right away? Yep, it's amazing stuff. That looks fantastic. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and get it off. There we have the cream of mushroom soup, and now we are going to add our rice. And those of you that saw the original video for the cream of everything soup, you'll know that this right here is a pretty nostalgic meal for me. Cream of mushroom and rice is one of those things that I could eat any day of the week. And look at that. Now we have a cream of mushroom rice mix. Isn't that cool? Okay, so I am totally excited that I decided to do this because I was spending quite a bit of money on the single serving packs of rice, only because it was easy and I could open it and get it served and not think about it. And now with just a little bit of preparation, I have that same convenience, but already in my freezer for a fraction of the cost and probably a lot better for me. So you guys, this is definitely something that I think all of us who love rice and all of us who like the convenience of those tear packets, I mean, come on, that's pretty convenient. And if you have that rice in your freezer and this in your cupboard, you can quickly whip together your cream of anything rice mix and then serve it with your meal. It's fantastic. All right, you guys, well, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this adventure, and I know that I'm gonna utilize this from now until the rest of my life because I absolutely love to have quick hacks that will make my dinner prep just that much easier on those really busy days. All right, you guys, if you enjoyed that video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. I do videos several times a week, and I'm always looking for the next adventure. And sometimes I just need to do the adventure to save myself a little time in my kitchen. So if you have any ideas for me, leave it in the comments below. Otherwise, we will see you on the next adventure. Bye.